Blog Talk Radio.
Award-winning author and best-selling author, Fire and Ice, and The Journey of Transformation. And today is Friday, as always, again, and welcome to Blog Talk Radio. I have another guest. Her name is Shelli de Silva. She's born in Sri Lanka, and it's from a middle-class family of four. Her parents are currently in Sri Lanka, and her only sibling is her dearly loved brother who lives in India. From her very young days, she was very opinionated and wouldn't allow anyone to tell her what she couldn't do. Shelli had her first dream, one of many, when she was 12 years old. It was to come to the United States, her imaginary home. 10 years and 10,000 miles later, she made her imagination a reality by making her way to Arizona to pursue her higher education in mechanical engineering. So, hi, Shelli, how are you today?
Hi, Diana. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on the show, and I am truly honored to be here today.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. So there is a lot of information about you on the website. I went through your blog spot. You like articles. You want to make a change. You want to empower, inspire people. So tell us, what exactly are you doing?
Okay. So once again, I'm honestly, truly, really happy to be here on the show, Diana. And this is my first time on a talk show, and I'm actually very excited right now. And so as far as what I'm doing right now, I'm writing a book called Victim to Warrior. It's basically to empower women and even men who have been in abusive situations and who are trying to recover and make a life for themselves. And sometimes, you kind of come out of an abusive situation and you realize that you have completely transformed and you'll never be the person who you were before. And how do you pick up from there and move forward is pretty much the line of my work. And so I'm trying to inspire people from my book, and I currently have a blog, and my website is victimtowarrior.com. If you haven't checked it out already, there I try to write some blog articles and pretty much what I have learned over the years on my own. I've spent about 5 years meditating, doing yoga, and also trying to recover myself, which I have successfully done so. And now I feel like I have so much to give to the world out there who's in desperate need. And I feel like this is living my true purpose, and I take pleasure in doing the work that I do right now.
Oh, that's,
Diana?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of pretty much what I wanted to say as far as my work goes.
Yes, that's wonderful. That's what my show is about, to empower, inspire women. And sometimes in life things happen which are out of your control, and you couldn't imagine it going to happen to you, but it does happen. And it's wonderful. You want to share your story and your struggle with other women. And I saw you're a very successful woman. You are very educated, and you have worked in really good places. And unfortunately, you were laid off, and this is wonderful. You can inspire a woman with this, what happened to you, and if you want to tell us why did you get laid off during the recession, and just everything what happened to you since you came in the United States? It looks like you fulfilled one of your dreams.
Yes, actually, there's quite a few. I will give a little bit about my overview and how I got to where I am today. So to begin with, I had my first dream since I was 12 years old in Sri Lanka. I used to step outside of the house every night and make a wish, and that wish was to actually come to the United States. Pretty much the only thing I knew about the States was, which is what I had seen on Discovery Channel. I mean, being grown up in a third world country, we didn't have much access to much of anything. We didn't have cable. I mean, the regular TV that we had access to Discovery Channel, and I loved watching it as a kid. And it really inspired me, the latest technology that America was putting out, and all the inventions and the travel, pretty much. Actually, I wanted to do astronomy at first, but it's a long story, so I wouldn't hold you up on too long on that one. So I had no money when I had this dream. I didn't know how I was going to come here, and all I had was this burning feeling, the burning desire to actually fulfill my dream. I felt some sort of a belonging to the United States, even though I was still living in Sri Lanka and I was 12 years old, which is kind of funny, and people would really laugh at the idea if I were to tell somebody. So I went to community college in Sri Lanka, and I found an American college called American National College, and I started going there after my high school education. I figured, okay, maybe if I start my education there, then that will be a stepping stone to come to the States. So I started, and my father and mother are very, they really encouraged me and my brother's education, and they were really supportive. I mean, we are from a middle-class family, and we didn't have a whole lot of money. Certainly not what U.S. education required. So I started going to the American college, and then the time came for me to transfer to the U.S., and because it wasn't a full degree, it was just an associate's degree, and then I had to transfer, and I still had no money. But anyway, I have been listening to my gut a lot, and that's pretty much all I've had all along with me in my journey, and I can say to this day that if I didn't trust my gut and if I thought about things logically only, I would never even have made it to the U.S. Because if you look at my life from a logical standpoint, nothing ever would make sense. So I trusted myself to pretty much do what I wanted to do. And so when the time came to transfer, my dad didn't have money, but I still applied for my visa. I applied for my college, Arizona State University, and I got in. And I still had no money to transfer. And the day before, I actually even got my visa, and I had money for the ticket, for the plane ticket, and I even got that. I still had no money to write the first tuition check for my school. So, but I still believed that there was something that was going to happen for me to be able to live my dream. And the day before, my dad shows up with a check. He had been able to get a loan by leaving his car as collateral, and I was a little shocked for the idea, but you know, that's how I made it to the U.S. for the first time. So I came to the country with $250 of cash and just a tuition check for my first semester. I had no idea how I was going to make it through the next semester and the next semester. So at that time, I hadn't quite learned how to live by the day and handle the situations at hand. I still worried a lot, and I can say I attracted a lot of negative energy because I was worrying so much. And anyway, I made it, and then the second semester, like a couple of days before the tuition deadline, my dad was able to sell their only house in Sri Lanka, and now they're living on rent, but with my brother like supporting them right now. But so they were able to actually fund my education that way, and then they almost ran out of money in the middle of my education again, and I had asked my employer at the time. I worked on campus. I had asked 3 times whether I would they would be able to make me a staff member. I was a student worker. If you were a staff member, you get full tuition waiver and all the benefits as well. So they had said no to me 3 times because they didn't understand how to do it for an immigrant, because they had never done this sort of transformation for a non-U.S. citizen. So the 4th time, I was actually literally looking for a money-making method online, and my boss walked up and asked me what I was doing. I told him the truth, and that's when it hit them. So she was actually telling a real story. If we don't do this, she would have to go home. Was the idea. And so finally, 5 p.m. before the deadline of before the tuition deadline, they signed my paperwork, and I was able to get the tuition waiver. So for the semesters from then on out, from 2008 to 2011, when I finished my undergrad and I finished my master's, that's my tuition was covered, and I worked really, really hard in that job, and I even got promoted. And so that's kind of my educational financial story. And in the middle of all that, I went through severe abuse, domestic violence, and also rape. But I have to say, I was broken into a million different pieces, and I was lost. I had no idea how to get myself back up. But I took the time. I took the time for myself and figured out a way to get myself back up. And how I did it was actually, Diana, is it okay to include this, or am I going too far deep into my career? Or do you have any other questions?
It's up to you. It's up to you if you want to tell you the whole story or just what you feel comfortable talking about. It's up to you to decide this.
Okay, perfect. So I want to tell a little bit about how I actually got over my abusive situation.
Yes.
First,
that's very important to share. Yeah. I'm
right.
sorry. Yeah, that's very important. That's what the listeners, the women who have been in this situation and have been right now, it's going to a situation like this. That's what they want to hear. They want to find out. And I would love for you to tell this story, how you did it, how you bounced back.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, definitely. I would love to share that. So after the incident, the rape, I came out feeling like I was a completely different person, and I was lost. I didn't know what even happened. I could not believe it because it was a friend I have known for 4 years. So I was in total, utter shock. And it took me about 3 months to actually shed the first tear. Like